Hello, and how you doing? So ever since I went on my El Camino adventure last year and started my first official goddess boot camp, I have been getting a lot of questions. So what is the story? How did you come up with that? And also what is it exactly? And so I thought it would be nice to make this video and share some of that with you. So the story ultimately is that once I started going to China regularly, I started to have some repercussions with so much traveling and also dealing with jet lag. And that's when my husband Sean came up with the idea, and he just made jokes with it and saying that I have to take the China boot camp in order to prepare myself and be physically really fit, because I could definitely tell a difference when I was physically fit and mentally, emotionally well prepared for my trips, that they just went a lot easier, and I also had a lot of less jet lag to deal with. And so then it turned into the Lady Gaga boot camp. We joked about that because my husband also made jokes about when he would make the concoctions, the different juices that I was drinking, the blends of vegetables and fresh fruits, that he would say, I'm making juice for Lady Gaga. You know, it's this whole idea of when I'm on stage, I have this Lady Gaga energy. And so that was just a fun way of, you know, encouraging me and motivating to be as fit as possible when I travel. Well, when I decided to walk the El Camino last year in October, I realized that I had a long way to go between where I was at about a year and a half ago and actually doing the trip. And so that's when I took off the summer for 3 months and decided to really dedicate myself to getting myself in shape, and not only physically but also the spiritual, the mental and the emotional aspects, and really use that time on the path, those 10 days of just walking and being in my thoughts and being with what's around me and not thinking about my business or what I have to do with my family or anything like that. It's just purely about my own personal growth and giving thanks for this amazing journey that I have been on for the first 50 years of my life, and then now taking it into the future. So that was my goal, and I dedicated those 3 months to the fulfillment of that goal. And then the Camino happened. It was an amazing experience, so beautiful, and I can't wait to go back. And I am actually going to do a couple of days with my sister when I see her in Germany here next month, so I'm very excited about that. And then ultimately it led into more of a lifestyle choice. I realized that this is a wonderful way of being by really dedicating a lot of time to the meditation, the journaling, and doing all those kind of things that we love to put on the back burner because we never have time, right? And so that's when I realized it's a choice and I can make that time. And it's been a wonderful process ever since. So it's definitely influenced my lifestyle since, and I've been in a wonderful place and feeling very healthy and happy. And now it's time to share that. So I now have actually someone who is joining me in the boot camp for right now, and then it's now time to also bring it out to more people who are interested in that kind of self-transformational work. We are now sharing this journey with other women who are out there who wants to be involved in it. So I just started to create a Facebook group. It's called the Goddess Reboot, because that's what we're doing. We are rediscovering the internal goddess. We are rediscovering our divine self. And it's all about bridging that gap between the divinity and the mortal self. So there is a way that we can be divine while we are running our businesses, while we are taking care of our families, while we are being on this planet, and still have that divine spark within us and live from that as our core. And that's what this is all about. It's about truly standing in that power. And it's not about glorifying the feminine here, because it also means that it's truly about that beautiful balance between the feminine and the masculine. So it is about that natural flow between the masculine and the feminine within a woman. And that's what we're claiming, because that's a different story for the guys, and they have different tasks to accomplish than we do as women, being born in a physically female body. So that's what I've been playing with for many years, and that's what's now coming into fruition in a program in a way that I can actually share it with others. It's not just in my head. It's not just, you know, those little exercises that I do and those little inclinations that I have, and some of the, you know, dietary things that I'm doing and all that, because that is up to everybody to figure out for themselves. That is what everybody needs to decide for themselves. What is the best diet for me? What is the nutrition that I know I function best on? You know, what is the kind of rest that works for me? What are the kind of things that I need to do to rejuvenate myself? For some people, that means being with other people, doing social things, doing charity work, being out and about. And for other people, that means to go home and meditate and take a bubble bath and put some beautiful angel music on. And those are the things that you will find. What are those things that feed me, that are purely on my level, that is nourishing to me? And that is completely individual to everybody. And those are the kind of things that you start asking yourself, and then you will start finding some answers as you dabble and you practice and you try out different things. And that's how, for example, I found out how time in nature is absolutely nourishing and healing to me. So just being outside for 5 minutes totally makes it. And right now I just got myself a couple of little succulents, because now I'm planting a little tiny garden that can be indoors. And those are the kind of little things that I discovered along this journey to just really to nourish myself on a daily basis. So you can do that with foods, you can do that with clothes, you can do that with how you set up your space, the music you listen to, doing little things like burning candles, having incense going, all those lovely things. Dancing, huge piece for me. I make sure that there is some physical movement with some beautiful music that inspires me every day. So that's one aspect. There is the aspect of journaling and personal transformation work. And that's, of course, where I use all my background, everything I've ever learned in regards to personal transformation and personal growth. What exercises can I do to immerse myself into the being that I want to be, into the success I want to create, into the future I want to create for myself and also spread to others, because everything I do is always informed with this higher mission of why am I here and what do I want to bring, which in my case is all about environmentalism. It's all about, hey, when we think smarter and we make better choices in our own lives, then we have less of a negative impact on the systems around us. We create less waste, we create more positive resources, and that ultimately is going to influence the whole system and our whole society. So that's what I found out finally is my way of being here and my way of living my mission and my vision for where we're going collectively on this planet. And I see a lot of needs, and so I'm asking myself, what can I contribute in my own little tiny way as a mom, as a wife, as a small entrepreneur? And I also posed that question to you. So that's another way of thinking about the goddess reboot, to really think about, what does my goddess, my divine self, feel called to do while I'm here? While I'm in this physical form, while I am in this beautiful physical manifestation of this planet Earth, what do I want to bring, and what are some of the little steps that I can take towards doing that? So that is a big, big, big piece, to transform ourselves on that level, to really vibrate at that high vibration so that we have enough energy to do that. And everything that we're doing is nourishing us. And I talked with someone earlier about that. You can do the same chore, and from one level of a low vibrational, seeing it as a mundane, I have to do this, my laundry, my dishes, whatever it is, even making your bed. Or you're taking it from that divine level of, I'm seeing the sacredness in what I'm doing right now. I'm washing the dishes, or I'm cleaning my laundry. And that has a completely different feeling to it. And that's what I was talking about earlier, ultimately what it's about, that we are living our life divinely. And it's totally possible. And I love it when I get those glimpses in my own life and I see those little phases when it's happening. And of course, ultimately the goal is to make those phases longer so they become more continuous, so that we have that as our baseline. We get used to that as our baseline, and then we can create the next level. So Goddess Bootcamp was developed to help me personally to be in my best self possible for a high level of activities, a high level of, you may call it stress and engagement, so that I can persevere and roll with it in a good way and flow with it. Now what it's turned into is realizing that this can be a whole way of life, and really reminding ourselves who we truly are, why we're here, and then how can we integrate it into this everyday, beautiful, physical, practical way of being here on this planet and interacting with life in all those different roles that we choose to play while we're here. So for some of you, that means wife or girlfriend, or perhaps it's lover. For some of you, that means mother or not. And you might be the mother of an animal, or you might have a beautiful collection of plants, or you might be the mother of a book that wants to be born, or some other project that absolutely needs to come into this physical manifestation. You are a friend, you are a community member, you are a charitable person. I know you're giving in some way to your community. So there are all these many different layers that you have being in this physical existence here, and bringing all of those together, aligned, and then having that being informed by your divine self while you're playing out this physical form. Wow, what a cool trip. That's what I call an adventure. So if that sounds fun to you, if that's intriguing to you at all, there is now a platform that can offer that to you. I'm a huge believer in community. I think that's how we can make a difference, is by sharing our vision with other people, by engaging other people who are aligned with what we have to say, and then listen to their vision, and also seeing what their mission is and how it all can feed each other and nourish each other. And that ultimately is how we can create that ripple effect that then shows actual differences in the larger systems that we are part of. So I invite you on that journey with me. If you would like that, I invite you to on that journey by yourself, if that's up for you. Whatever it is, just please do it. Do it in some way that you are constantly transforming yourself, that you're proactively working on yourself, that you're taking steps, and even tiny baby steps over time add up. So don't beat yourself up for some kind of, oh, I should have achieved this by now. Don't worry about that. Everything is perfect the way it is, and then it naturally transforms to the next level. So you are at where you're at right now because that's where you need to be. So take a breath and just accept that for right now. You're perfectly where you need to be, okay? And then you can ask yourself, okay, and with where I'm at and where I want to go, what is now the next appropriate step? And then you take it from there. So with that being said, if you have more questions, please make sure you become part of the group. Be an active participant. I would love that very much. I want this to be an active group. I want people to engage with each other, and that we can all learn from each other, because that's the whole point, that we each are on our individual journeys of power with incredibly unique and different resources that we can bring, talents, skills. It's going to be wonderful. And we also know at the same time that we're all connected, that on some level there is something that brought us together to now embrace that divinity and embrace that power to say, yes, we can do this together. Let's support each other. Let's proactively do that, and let's see what happens with it. Okay? Cool. With that being said, you guys, have a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. See ya!